Hello, welcome to the game store. Are you a new customer here? Wonderful. Well, I'm the shop owner, and I'm pleased to meet you. What brings you in today? GameCube? Okay, so are you looking to collect? Do you already own a system? Yep, so we actually did just get a few trade-ins. So we have a pretty good collection of games. Our inventory is always changing, but you came at a good time. Now, have you used the console before, or is it new for you? When you were younger, okay. Do you have games in mind, or do you want suggestions? Okay, that's great. Yeah, when you haven't played a certain console for so many years, you kind of forget what good games it has. So I can definitely show you some. Do you collect anything else? PlayStation, Xbox, okay. Wonderful. Well, like I said, I can definitely show you the consoles that we have in stock. And we do have some controllers as well. And then I can show you some game recommendations. And all of our consoles and games are in a working condition. We do test everything as it comes into the store, so you don't have to worry about that. And we also have a 30-day return policy, just in case anything were to be wrong. So why don't I grab the consoles first, and then we can get started. Alright, so we do have two consoles in stock right now, a black version and a silver version. So I'll show you the black one first. Both in pretty good condition. Obviously they're not brand new. So here's the black. And see the logo on top. So let me just walk you through the buttons here. So right here, you have the open button. Obviously, it just opens here, and that's where you would insert the disc. Okay. The reset button is right there, and then of course the power button. Now, these were obviously created in the time when wireless controllers weren't the only thing you would use. So we have 4 slots here to plug in wired controllers. And then right here and here you have memory card slots. Because yes, those would be needed. And then, let's see what else. You can see this attachment right here. And this version comes with this. It's called a Game Boy player. So what it allows you to do is play Game Boy games through the GameCube onto your TV. Alright? So because it comes with this, the value is a little bit more expensive. And this is what it comes with. So basically what you would do is have the piece on the bottom here, insert the Game Boy game, and then there's a disc in here that actually needs to go up top. Okay? So all of those things combined would allow you to play. Okay? And let me just confirm. So, play more than 1,000 games designed for the original Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance. Okay. So, you need to have if you were a Game Boy fan. So, same thing here. You have all your buttons, reset, power, open. where the game goes. And then all of the same other buttons, but this doesn't come with the Game Boy player. However, it does come with a memory card, as you can see right there. And you may be wondering what this piece is. So let me explain. So when it comes to controllers for the GameCube, we have a black one right here. So let me unwrap it and show you all the buttons are in good condition. Okay. Just move this out of the way. So here it is. Again, a little dusty, but I can clean it for you. Just all the buttons. You can see they're all working fine. Okay, so black version and a silver, which obviously matches the console here. Okay, and let's test the buttons. So they're all working fine. So here's the orange, my personal favorite. Same thing, all the buttons are in working condition. Okay. And now I can tell you about the wireless controller. So if you prefer the comfort of not having to plug in your controller, we do have this Wavebird controller. So that's what this piece is for. You plug it in and it's the receiver for this controller. It's my personal favorite when I'm playing GameCube, and this one's in really good condition as well. All the buttons are working, joysticks, everything. Okay, and then this is the button that just turns it on and allows you to connect. Okay, so lots of options for controllers. One controller will automatically come with the console for free if you purchase it, and then if you want additional ones, we can price them out. Alright? So why don't I get you some games? So I do have several games to show you. Just decided to pull some popular ones, and then if there's any you are interested in, I can look up the price for you. We do price a little bit lower than the current going rate, so I can definitely give you a good deal. And then on top of that, we do have a New Year's sale right now. So everything is 10% off. And I can kind of give you a brief overview of the game if you'd like, or if you're not interested, that's fine as well. I think I chose a good variety. So let's start with one of my personal favorites. This is Paper Mario, the 1,000-Year Door. So you can see very nice clean case here. And have you played Paper Mario before, any of them? No? Okay. So you can see the artwork is really cool. Obviously everybody looks like paper. Here's the side of the game. And then the back. So it's a really amazing RPG style game. And my favorite thing about it is the storyline and the dialogue. It's really funny dialogue. Really good humor. It's just goofy. Here's the disc, which is in great condition. All of our discs, by the way, are cleaned when they are donated. I will also say about this game, it's a really good battle system. It's turn-based, but it's just set up really nicely. And in my opinion, the battle system is much better than the Switch version of Paper Mario that came out, the Origami King. I think this one's better, so I would definitely check it out if you're a Mario fan. Very, very good game. So the next series of games I'd like to show you are actually 4 Mario Party games. So I can show you one by one. And let's see. We have Mario Party 4. There's the front. And there's the back. You can see the manual and disc. And I forgot to mention, all these games I'm showing you are complete. That means they include the manual, okay? So there's 4. Here's number 5. And have you ever played Mario Party games? Yeah. They're classic. The first one I believe was on N64. They're obviously really good for any get-togethers you have with your friends. And so many fun mini games. Every version of Mario Party is a little bit different. Different variations of the storyline, characters, mini games. So they're always really fun. This one is 6. I figured I'd just show you the fronts and backs so you can see some of the art styles and the differences. Obviously, if you're a Mario Party fan, it would be fun to collect all of these for GameCube. And the manuals are fun to look at too. They're not common in today's games. So it's nice to have them if you're a collector. And here's 7. Any questions about these games so far? Sure? Yep. So I can look up the price, and then I can also look up the price of Paper Mario as well. What I will say is, I know Paper Mario is expensive. Let's see. Yeah. So it's currently going for a little over $100, but I'd be happy to sell it to you for a lower price. And the Mario Party games are all around $60 each. And you may be surprised at some of these prices, but GameCube games expensive these days. So next up is Mario Kart Double Dash. And have you played a Mario Kart game? Of course. Yeah, they are very, very popular. And Double Dash is a great version of the game. So it's called Double Dash because you can actually have 2 players in a kart. And I love this game. It's so fun to play with friends, even today. A lot of different characters to play as. And again, Mario Kart games are just so fun. Speaking of games with friends, since we've been talking about those types, I do have another one that you might be interested in. And that is Super Smash Bros. Melee. Another very good game. It always sells out quickly here in the store. So, if you've never played Super Smash before, it's just a battle game. It's definitely not an adventure. It is all about battling. So lots of different characters to play as you can see on the cover. And lots of cool techniques to use when you're battling. I always find Super Smash Bros. Games challenging, but that's me. It's not really my type of game. But like I said, people love it. So here's the inside. Okay. And again, really good to play with friends, especially if you're competitive. So next up is Mario Sunshine. Another really fun GameCube game. And in this game, the premise is Mario's on an island, and he basically ends up having to save the island. It's a colorful world, lots of different abilities that you have. If I remember correctly, yes, you can ride Yoshi as well. So, it's a fun game. The inside, like I said, really colorful, really pretty. It's another good one to pick up. Next up is one of my favorites, Luigi's Mansion. So this is a really fun game to play around Halloween in the fall. In this game, Luigi is the main character. He has to rescue Mario in a haunted mansion. I love playing as Luigi. There's lots of good bosses, lots of rooms to explore in the mansion, and lots of fun puzzles to solve. I highly recommend this game, especially if you are a Mario and Luigi fan. So let me look up some prices so we can catch up on some of those games. So Mario Kart Double Dash, it's around $70. Super Smash, around $65. Mario Sunshine, it's around $40. And then Luigi's Mansion is around $60. Okay? So just so you know those prices in your head. Like I said, I can cut you a deal. So let's move on to a few Zelda games. Have you played any Zelda games before? Ocarina of Time, Link to the Past, okay. So I do have a few games you might be interested in for GameCube. So let's see, I think there's three that I'll recommend. There are more, but these are just the three that I grabbed today. So this first one is one of my other favorite games of all time, and it is Zelda Twilight Princess. It's one of my favorites because the story is really good, and I love games with a good story. The gameplay is also really good. You solve a lot of puzzles, which is very typical to Zelda games. Of course, you make your way through dungeons and just explore the world on your quest. A lot of people even dare to say this game is just as good as Ocarina of Time, and I have to say it comes close. See inside. So I again highly recommend this game. I will say it's quite expensive, so let's check the current price. Twilight Princess. Yeah, currently around $120, which is crazy, but I will sell it to you a little bit less if you really do want it. So if you have these games and purchase them, it really is important to keep them in good condition because someday they could be worth even more. So the next one's a little bit more of a unique Zelda game. It's The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker. So let me just show you maybe on the back. The style of this game is a little bit different, the art style. So it's kind of like cartoon appearance for the characters, which is different. So visually it's very, very beautiful. Let me actually show you some images in the booklet here. So let's see. We have some different things here. So this was definitely not something you can do now, but you could send this in for a free shirt. Back in the day. Another guide here. And then here is the manual, so you can see the artwork. And Link is super cute in this game. Some more of the characters on the bottom here. If you run into any issues, you can go to this little help page in the back. So, I put these all back. Any questions about the Zelda game so far? The price of Wind Waker? Yep, I can definitely look it up. It's a neat one to collect. Wind Waker is going for around $70. Okay, so a little bit less than Twilight Princess, which is good. And then our last game here. So since you said you were a fan of Ocarina of Time, I thought I'd show you this. This is Zelda Collector's Edition. And this actually has 4 games in one. The Legend of Zelda, Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask. So, see them all on the back here. Bring it up a little closer. So again, this is really cool to have if you're a fan of those older games. To be able to play them on GameCube is really neat. And they play pretty well on GameCube. I know you can play Ocarina of Time now on Switch, but I don't know, I prefer more on here. So 3 great Zelda games to collect. Let's see, I think the collector's edition is around $60, but let's just double check. Yeah, about $65. Okay. So now I just have a few more. And then I can also grab any other games you'd be interested in. So these 2 games are really popular in the store. However, I actually never played them. So I'm just going to show you them anyways. They are Pikmin and Pikmin 2. So I know it's about these little characters on a very strange planet, but that's really about all I know. Have you played these before? You think you did? Well, it might be worth picking up if you are interested. I know, like I said, these are pretty popular games. I know number 2 is also really popular. I'll show you this one. Here we are again. The back of this says, "Return to the planet of the Pikmin." Here's the back. And here's the inside. So let's look at the prices. I think these should also be around 60, but let's check. Okay, so Pikmin 1 is 60. And Pikmin 2 is going for a little bit more, around $80. So yeah, they're still a little pricey because again, they are bestsellers. Let me show you another really fun game. And this one is purely for relaxation. So I'm sure you've heard of Animal Crossing. Here is the GameCube version. So I really like this one. It was super fun when it came out. And it's very similar to the New Horizons version if you played that on Nintendo Switch. Similar characters, similar concept. You have a house, neighbors, you can fish, collect things, just relax and have fun. I think it's important to have games like this in a collection for when you just need some downtime. So I definitely suggest picking this up, especially if you are a fan of the newer version. And this is going for $60. Okay. So any other games you're looking for? Beautiful Joe and Metroid, yeah. Let me see if they're in stock. I know those are both bestsellers in our store, especially Metroid. So let's see. We do have them in stock, so let me go grab them. So here they are, and they're in good condition. Here's Beautiful Joe. And was this just a game you played when you were younger? Yeah, so here it is. I know this is a side-scroller game, like a beat-em-up. So I can definitely look up the price for this for you. It's less expensive than the others. So let's see. Joe. Yep, it's only $30. So that's good. And then we did have a copy of Metroid Prime. Here it is. And you said you liked this when you were younger. Yeah. Yep, so it's a first-person shooter. I never played this game, but I know many people love it. Very popular game. A lot of people who come in actually say it's their favorite GameCube game ever. So I should probably play it eventually. Here's the inside. And I believe this one is also $30. But let's just double check. Yep, it's $30. So I think that's all that I have for now. Anything else you want me to pull? So what are you thinking? Interested in purchasing anything? Wonderful. Alright, so let's put together an order here. So you'd like silver GameCube, and then what controllers? Silver controller and the Wavebird. Okay. And then what games? Paper Mario, Mario Party 7, Twilight Princess, Beautiful Joe, and Metroid. Yep. Got both of those. And then Wind Waker. Okay. Alright, so let me see what I can do here. Let's see. It's coming at a little bit of a high price, but with our discount and since you're buying so much, I can definitely sell this as a bundle. So I can give everything to you for $300, which is a very good deal, especially with some of those high-priced games and the GameCube controller and Wavebird controller. And were you interested in the Game Boy player? No, okay, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to have my colleague box everything up for you. Like I said, you can test everything if you'd like, just to make sure it all works for you. And give us a call if you have any issues, okay? Well, it was so wonderful talking with you today about GameCube. It's a wonderful console with so many good games, and I think you're really going to enjoy starting a collection. Feel free to stop in anytime. We always get more games every single day, and I'm really interested to hear how everything goes. So, enjoy those games, and thanks again for coming into the game store today. Welcome to the game shop. Are you looking for anything specific today? Great, and have you owned a Nintendo 64 before? It's been a while. Okay, I can definitely show you that. We actually just got a pretty nice collection traded in. Do you have a budget in mind? And are you a member of our store? Okay, I can sign you up if you want. So basically, you would just get monthly emails, and they would include some promotions that are going on in the store, any big sales coming up, and sometimes they even have coupons, so okay, I can sign you up. So what is your first name? And your last name? Your email? And then your phone number. Perfect. So I will grab that collection for you and show you what we have. So I figured I would show you the console first, and I will just make a note about this. It just got traded in, so it's not completely cleaned, but I can do that for you if you were to purchase it. Another note I wanted to make is we do test all of our consoles and games, so if you were to purchase this or any of the games, I would test them before you leave. And then if you have any issues with the games or anything, there's a 30-day return policy. So here is the console, and it's just in the kind of original color. We did have an orange one and a red one, but they just sold. So here it is, and you can see the nice logo right there, and the 4 slots for your controller plugs. Here is the back. I'll show you the bottom as well. So this is in pretty good condition. Obviously it's not perfect since it is used, but not terrible. Let me show you the top. And this is what I need to clean before you leave, but there's just some dust in all of these little slots here. So I'll just get a Q-tip and clean inside to get some of that. And in the meantime, let me just dust it for you. And do you remember where the game goes? Yeah? Perfect. So right here. There you go. And I'll actually insert a game to show you in a minute. So then a few other things. This is your power button. Just moves up and down. And then this is your reset button right here. And then this right here is your expansion pack. So, do you know what that is? Yep. So all that does is increase your RAM. So that's good to have. Some Nintendo 64s they get traded in don't actually have that. So I'm glad this one does. So there's your console. And then I do have 2 controllers to show you. And it will actually come with both of them. So this is the first one. And it's this clear purple color, which I love. So let's test it out. Looks to be in very, very good condition. So it works well, none of the buttons are sticking, and then it just needs a little bit of a wipe down. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay, so that's the first controller, and then here is the second. This just looks like your typical N64 controller. This one's in pretty good condition too. Sometimes we get ones traded in that are very, very beat up from years of fun. So these are pretty good. So let's test the D-pad, the buttons. I hear a little bit of sticking in there, but I can actually clean under that too. And then here. Okay. Yep, so this one looks good as well. I like this controller. I think it's comfortable to use. So both of your controllers, and then a few other items I wanted to mention before we look at games. The first is the very important memory card, which just goes in the back of your controller here. And then you could obviously have game saves. Then we have a rumble pack. Here it is. Are you familiar with what the rumble pack is for? Yep. So, back in the good old days, controllers didn't automatically vibrate. That's why you had a rumble pack. And again, this just goes into the back of your controller. And I originally remember playing Star Fox with this. And I know it made the game rumble during different parts, but it also works with many other games. Then you also have this. Do you know what this is? Yep, so this is a transfer pack. So again, plugged into the back of a controller. And this was interesting because you could actually use this for Pokemon Stadium, a game I'll be showing you shortly. You could put your Game Boy game, so Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, in the back here, and upload your Pokemon to the N64 game. And then you could use them to battle. So just something interesting about the transfer pack. So if you're a Pokemon fan, it might be something cool to have. So you can play your Pokemon in Pokemon Stadium. So any questions about the console or the accessories, the controllers? Okay, so why don't I get the games and then we'll go through them. So I do have quite a few games that were traded in. Just a brief synopsis of the game and then go from there. So you can kind of tell me if you're interested, if you're not. And if you're already familiar with a game, just let me know. And I will stop talking about it, of course. But let's see what I want to start off with. I start with a classic. I'll start off with Super Mario 64. So I'll show you close up. is the first 3D Mario game. So this game is in great condition. There's a little bit of a mark on the top. Looks like it might be from tape or something, which I can get off for you. So I consider this one of the greatest games ever, at least for Nintendo 64. It was so fun and challenging, very challenging. And even years later, I feel like it's worth playing. It's a great throwback for any Mario fan. Even if you're not a Mario fan, it's a great game to play. And it's just very well done and impressive for its time. So that's Super Mario 64. Now let's see here. How about Mario Party? So, have you played a Mario Party game? Yeah, there's so many of them. So this is actually the first one. And you can see the sticker is in really good condition. And does that bother you if it's in good or bad condition? Okay. I know some people who are collectors need it to be pristine, so I always make mention of that. So obviously this is a great game to play with friends. You have your typical mini games that are part of Mario Party. Nothing too challenging. And you move around on a game board like usual. Or you can also play mini games separately. It just depends on how you want to play. I'm just lightly dusting the sides here. So I'll set this aside, and then I think at the end, whatever games you're interested in, I can price them out for you. And then let's just talk about Mario Kart next. So, another classic. And this one definitely needs cleaned. You can clean it if you choose to buy it. It's just a little bit of sticky residue. But the actual sticker is good. Just right here you can see a little bit of yellowing. So this is a great multiplayer game, of course. Fun to play with friends. And battle mode was pretty cool. Now I will say the graphics, of course, are not like they are today. To be expected. So a good one to own again if you're a Mario fan. And then we have Super Smash Brothers. I actually never got too into any of these, mainly because I thought they were too stressful. But Super Smash games are great to play with friends. Especially if you have competitive friends. So the sticker looks good. And it's just chaos playing a Super Smash Brothers game. You can play as different characters with different abilities. And similar to a few other games I mentioned, even though there are newer versions of Super Smash, it's nice to have this classic one. I think there's only one more Mario game, and it is Paper Mario. I'm just gonna clean this one a little bit. I do see some dirt. this game I think still holds up today. There are newer Paper Mario games, but this is such a good one. But this story is just still so funny, great humor, typical to Paper Mario games. I love the music in this game and the battle system and the paper design of the characters. You can see. And you just meet a lot of fun companions that help you in this game, so just a good one to have. So that's all of our Mario games in the collection. So now, let's see, I guess I'll move on to maybe Majora's Mask. So I love this cartridge. It's a pretty gold color. And then the label here, a little holographic. So you have Link on the front. And this is in great condition. So in Majora's Mask, you play as a young version of Link. It's kind of more of a dark Zelda game. And you use masks to do certain things. Definitely plenty of exploration, really good narrative, and just a unique take on a Zelda game, in my opinion. Basically change into 3 different characters to complete the story. Okay. So there is Zelda, and then I know we have Ocarina of Time somewhere in this bundle. Here it is. So Ocarina of Time is the other Zelda game included in this bundle, and this is just another classic. Ocarina of Time is the game that brought Zelda into the 3D gaming world, and it was just so amazing to play when it came out. A really, really good story, fun gameplay, cool abilities, cool weapons, and a really good final battle. And it's definitely regarded as one of the best Zelda games ever. So it is needed for a Nintendo 64 collection. And it's on top. I guess I'll talk to you about Banjo-Kazooie next. Are you familiar with Banjo-Kazooie? So really cool levels. I know there was a beach area, swamp area, forest, I think what else, a desert. This had a really good script and music too, so if you care about that, you would like this game. And I like the controls for this game, but it was very difficult. That being said, still an essential Nintendo 64 game. Speaking of difficult, Donkey Kong 64. So I do see a little bit of a scratch here and there on the label, so I can give you a discounted price said, I always found this game challenging. This is the first 3D game in the Donkey Kong series. So good to have. And then obviously really cool puzzles and lots of fun mini games. And you have a cool yellow cartridge as well. So I also think it's an essential game to have for your collection. Set these aside. And now just a few more. So why don't I go to this one. I'll get the Pokemon for last. Okay. So next up we have GoldenEye. Now, have you played GoldenEye in the past? Yeah, I think almost everybody has that I know. So you're of course playing as James Bond 007. And this sticker is in good condition. Let's see the back here. So it's a first person shooter. I recently played a little bit of it, and for its time it was amazing, but it's just so funny to play now because of the graphics. But again, for its time it was amazing, and you could play with friends, fun missions, and again, it was a first-person shooter game on its 64, so just a must-have for your collection. And another game that's very popular for Nintendo 64 is Star Fox. This one needs cleaned a little bit as well. I might have to get some cleaning solution for this mark right here, which I can do again if you choose to purchase. So in Star Fox, you play as Fox McCloud, who I don't see on the front, but you fly in your spaceship, the R-Wing, and it's basically a space shooting game. So it's cool to travel to different planets, and the space battles are fun. Here's the back. And there's also a really good multiplayer mode for 4 players. And then some fun levels. I don't remember all of them, but I do remember one in a submarine, so that's another good one to have. Now I'll tell you about the last 2 games, which are Pokemon games. So we have Snap and Stadium. So Pokemon Snap, actually I believe one came out recently for the Switch. This is your original. So all you're doing in this game is taking pictures of Pokemon. And so it was a very different way of playing Pokemon. So you were taking photos. I think there were 60 some that you could take pictures of. So it was done pretty quickly, but it was just a cute game. No stress, which is always nice. You could just take pictures and relax. And then the opposite of that was Pokemon Stadium, which was all about battles. So Pokemon Stadium, again, another unique Pokemon game. And I remember it was really cool to see your Pokemon in 3D on the screen compared to on your Game Boy. So better graphics than a Game Boy at the time, more realistic. And like I told you before, you had that adapter, the transfer pack. So you could actually use your own Pokemon in the game. Then I think you could actually play Pokemon Red or Blue on the Nintendo 64 with the transfer pack. And I remember thinking that was cool too. So if you like Pokemon, these are both good to have. So I think that is it for this collection. Now we do have other Nintendo 64 games on the shelf over there. You can browse and take a look if you'd like, or I can just price out what you'd like to buy from this. Yep, so it doesn't have to all be sold together. I can sell separately. So what were you thinking? Okay, yep. So let me grab those games and then I can just bring up my computer and check you out. Alright, so you said Super Mario 64. It's about $25. Super Smash. It's about $30. Ocarina of Time. Also about $30. Pokemon Snap. That's less expensive. Yeah, that's $50. And then Donkey Kong. It's $25. And then you want the console with both controllers and none of the other accessories. Oh, just the memory card. Okay. I'm going to give you a little bit of a discount today. We do have a sale coming up next week, but I'll give you a bit of an early access. So I'm going to sell you all of those games plus the system with controllers for $150. And that is actually a very, very fair price, especially compared to our competitor stores. Sounds good? Good. And how will you be paying? Card? Thank you. And then let me just swipe. Here you go. And can I email you the receipt? Okay, good. So again, 30-day return policy. So if you have any issues with any of the games or with the console, bring it back in. But before you leave, I'm going to just clean everything a little bit for you and then back it up. Okay? So just give me a few moments and I will do that. And is there anything else you need or any questions? Perfect. And if you do end up having questions about any of the games or the console or even plugging it into your TV and getting it set up, I recommend looking up a YouTube video. There's a lot out there that can just show you how to do it. Or you can give us a call. Alright? Well, it was was so wonderful talking to you about the Nintendo 64. And please feel free to come back in again. We're always having really good sales, so I look forward to hopefully seeing you again soon. Take care. Hi there. Welcome to the game store. How can I help you? Sure, I can definitely help you with that. So are you shopping for specific items? Okay, great. Just bring up our system here. And you have a list of the items? You do. Perfect. Okay, so let's see. Lots of good games. Have you played all of these? So these are recommendations from friends. Yeah, I think we do have most of these in the store. So I can definitely grab them for you. First, let me just give you a few details. Have you been here before? Okay. So we do have games here for almost all consoles. For the older consoles, obviously depends on what we have traded in. So our inventory changes weekly. But we can also place holds on things, find different games you might be looking for. So feel free to give us a call if you ever need anything in particular. And if you're considering purchasing a console or just want to know more about a specific game, I can definitely take the time to teach you about it. So why don't you go browse, and then I'm going to work on getting the games on this list. And then as soon as you're finished, just meet me back up here at the front desk and we can talk about the games. Okay? Alright, I'll see you soon. Back already, I see. Wonderful, and you did grab a few things. Good. So I was able to find everything on your list, and obviously everything is mostly used. We do have a few new items as well that are brand new sealed, so I can show you those. And just to confirm, you said you don't know about all these games? Okay. So what I can do is just give a brief synopsis if that works. Then you can see if you'd actually like to purchase or maybe pass. I think I'm going to break everything up by console just so it's a little bit easier for me to explain. So let me just move this aside. And we can get started. So I was thinking maybe I would first show you the Nintendo Switch games. So like I said, I was able to find all of the ones you requested. So let's see, 3 of these are sealed, brand new, and then the other 2 are used. So the price will be a little bit different. Alright? So why don't we start off with this first one. Now, have you ever played a Zelda game before? Okay, so a long time ago. Well, there are plenty of Zelda games to choose from. And if you're interested in a newer one, I would choose Breath of the Wild. So Breath of the Wild is an amazing open world game. Beautiful, beautiful graphics. And you don't have to have played any other Zelda games to play this. It's a completely new adventure. And it's a great time to play this now, because the second Breath of the Wild game is coming out this May. So the main character is Link, right there. And there's a similar story to all of the Zelda games, where he has to rescue Zelda. She's on the back right here. So you can kind of play this game however you want, and that's why I love it. So for example, if you want it to be relaxing, you can just maybe do a few side quests, explore the world. Or if you want it to be more exciting, challenging, there are plenty of adventures to be had. And definitely challenging parts too, so definitely worth it, whether you're a Zelda fan or not. Just a great game. Now next is BioShock. Now you had the first game on your list, but you had noted you wanted it for Switch, so let me first tell you that the Switch version has all 3 BioShock games on it. So we do have the Xbox versions if you want them as well. So I just figured I'd show you. The first one, the second one. The second one has a nice holographic cover. And then the third one, BioShock Infinite. These are very inexpensive games, so if you would want to pick them up for Xbox, we do have them. They're obviously all used. Or if you want to stick with the Switch, you can get all 3 on this version. So, BioShock, they're all first-person shooter games, and they're centered in dystopian worlds. They are amazing games, really good stories. I personally think that 1 and 2 are my favorite, but they're all very good. This also has DLC on it. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but like I said, if you like games with a really good story or games with a really good twist, then definitely at least play the first BioShock game. It's very, very good. So next up is The Witcher, which is another great game. Really good story. Here is Geralt of Rivia right on the front. Really good characters, a lot of good side quests, and it's open world. So you will have plenty and plenty of hours playing this game, especially since there is DLC as well, which I actually have not even gotten to yet. Many, many hours of fun. So, I'm a fan of the Witcher books, and I must say the game is very good. So, definitely a good pick for Switch if you like open world games. And then you had mentioned Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, so I did pull both of them for you. These are both sealed, not opened, so here they are. Are you a Pokemon fan? Yeah. Yeah, me too. I've only ever played Diamond. I've not played Pearl yet. Here's the back of Shining Pearl. These games are pretty popular in the store, but not our best selling. But if you're a Pokemon fan, it's at least worth checking them out. Here is Brilliant Diamond on the back. And if you liked the DS versions, it's always fun to be able to play on the Switch now, so you can check those out as well. And I think that's all you had for Switch on your list, correct? Okay. So let's move on to Xbox next. So why don't we start with Skyrim? So Skyrim is one of the most popular open world games. Here's the front. And it is amazing. Again, so many things to do. It's set in a fantasy world, so you have dragons, tons of side quests, funny NPCs, lots of character customization, and truly just a beautiful soundtrack. Sometimes I just listen to the soundtrack on YouTube when I'm trying to concentrate, because it really just is so beautiful. So this comes with the manual, and I forgot to mention the BioShock games are all complete as well, and then none of the Switch games have manuals. So it has the manual, and like I said, you can play this game for hours and hours and hours and still have things that you can do. It's also fun to replay as well. It just doesn't get boring. I just wanted to open this map that it came with, so it looks like this has not ever been hung up or anything, so it could be a cool item to have. And put this away. So yeah, actually those are three of my favorite open world games: Skyrim, The Witcher, Breath of the Wild. There's plenty more, but definitely three good choices. So set this aside. Next up is Elden Ring. Have you played Elden Ring? No. So Elden Ring is another open world game. But what I'll say is it's a little bit more challenging than the other ones I mentioned. So have you ever played a Dark Souls game? So Dark Souls games are very challenging as well. So I'll just say that it takes a lot of patience. But if you're one of those people that like to be challenged and kind of figure out how you can get overpowered early perhaps in a game, or just challenge yourself to get better, Elden Ring might be for you. And with any open world game, you can find new weapons, new armor, tons and tons of bosses, and you can just get lost in the world. So why don't we move on to Nintendo 64 next? And I'm assuming you have that console. Alright, perfect. So there were two games on your list. The first one is a classic. So GoldenEye 007. Did you play this when you were younger? So obviously, you do play as James Bond, and it's a first-person shooter. And it's not like the first-person shooters you might play today. It's definitely older graphics, obviously. But again, it's a classic. So fun to play with friends, and fun missions, especially for when it came out. Kind of opened the world to first-person shooter games and multiplayer games, so it's a good one to have. And I can see that this needs cleaned a little bit, so can do that for you if you decide to purchase it. Alright? And then I was so excited about this one. So, another Zelda game, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. So this game is so good, and I'm pretty sure any Zelda fan will agree with that. So I believe it came out in 1998. If you play it now, you'll probably think the graphics are not that great, especially if you play Breath of the Wild first. But it's worth it. Again, really good story. And the gameplay is fun, the adventure is amazing. It's just one of the best games of all time, in my opinion. So, I would recommend having this in your collection if you're interested. And then I knew you only had one Wii game, so why don't we look at that next? So yes, Resident Evil 4 Wii Edition. So I haven't played this in a long time, but if I recall correctly, this one was better in my opinion than the GameCube version. It was because of the controls. So I think the Wii controls made it easier to shoot enemies. Are you a fan of the Resident Evil games? So yeah, I would pick this one up. I don't think this is very expensive, so let's see. Leon is a U.S. agent. Mission to rescue the president's daughter. Okay. Yeah, I might have to replay this. It's been a while, but it's definitely a good one. Alright, so next, I know you only had one Super Nintendo game on your list, and it's a good one. So here's our copy of Super Mario RPG. And this is definitely a good one. So it kind of started that unique humor in Mario games that you'll see in other ones. And it's a really fun story, good gameplay. This particular copy is in good condition. So lots of different characters and just a favorite for the Super Nintendo. And while we are on the topic of Mario, one of my favorite games, and it actually was not on your list, but I just wanted to show it to you anyways. So, Paper Mario, the 1,000-Year Door. A fantastic GameCube game. Show you up close because I love the artwork. Obviously everybody looks like they are paper. So it's an amazing RPG. Very funny dialogue, good plot, and a really good turn-based battle system. So I personally prefer this game definitely over the newer Paper Mario that came out for Switch. The Origami King. Everybody has their own opinion about games, but that's just mine. Of course, you have the manual, and this is helpful because obviously, if you haven't played GameCube in a long time, you might need to refer to this to learn the controls. Although these days, you could just look it up on YouTube, but it's kind of fun fun to have this for nostalgia purposes. You can even read how to start the game. So that's why I love having manuals. Just really fun to look at. So I know you had Super Mario Advance on your list, and I'm assuming you're a Game Boy Advance fan? Okay. So we do have this copy right here. Obviously, it's really cool that it's in a box. There it is. And let's just open it up. Right now, this is going for, I believe, $50. It is not sealed, but it still does come with the box. Definitely cool to own if you are a collector. And it does come with just some other little things here. Game Boy player ad, which we do have a Game Boy player if you'd be interested. And then of course your little manual here, which is a cute size. So, like I said, unfortunately we don't have any loose copies right now, but it might be fun to have this instead. And then lastly, so I know you wanted a DS. So we do have a DS in this case, which is used but not terrible condition. So let me just show you. So this is actually a DS Lite. We did have a regular DS, but it just sold yesterday. So it's going to come with the case and the charger, of course. So here it is. And this, again, can be cleaned. I know that it looks a little bit worn, but it is tested and in great condition. So here's the front cover, and then the back. Then we have the power button. As you can see, it turns right on. And it does also come with a pen. It's funny, I actually was not really a fan of the DS. It's kind of after my time, if you can say that. I was more of a Game Boy fan. But obviously, you have all your controls here. They look to be working. So yeah, you do have Indiana Jones and the Staff of Kings, and we'll just give that to you for free if you purchase. I don't think that game's worth anything. And then I know you were interested in any Pokemon games we have. So right now we just have one in stock, and it is Pokemon Soul Silver for the Nintendo DS. So here it is. The only thing I will say is right now it's a little bit expensive. It's actually selling for about $100. So just keep that in mind. But again, since you seem to like Pokemon, it could just be a good collector's piece. You can see the booklet, and let's see, it's actually a pretty thick manual here. Seems like it has a lot of information in it. So, yep, it shows you how to get started, shows you how to play the game, catching Pokemon, how to battle, tons of different stuff. So here we go. And it shows you all of the gym leaders as well. So again, might be worth picking up. Well, I'm going to just get my computer set up again and we will figure out what you'd like to purchase. Okay, so what were you thinking of purchasing? Wild. Alright, so that's selling for $39 right now. And Elden Ring. Selling for $40. Actually, $45. And what else? Ocarina of Time. I know that's going for $30. And then Resident Evil. Okay, I think that's only a few dollars. So $5 is not bad at all. And then what about the DS? Okay, so just the DS with the case. No Pokemon game. So I can sell that to you for $80. Yeah, you want to do that? So then your grand total would be $199 for everything. Would you like to pay with cash or card? Card? Perfect. Look here. And let me just swipe it. Oops. Didn't go through, so let me do it again. Okay, perfect. There we go. And you are all set. So Breath of the Wild, and then Elden Ring, Ocarina of Time, Resident Evil, and then the DS. Alright? So here are all of the items. Would you like a bag? You have one? Perfect. There you go. And you are all set. So I hope you enjoyed your time here at the game store. Feel free to come in at any time. We're always getting new things traded in, and we're also keeping up to date with all of the new games as well. So always give us a call if you're looking for something in particular. Alright? Well, thanks so much for coming in, and I hope to see you again soon. Hi, welcome to the game shop. How can I help you? Okay, have you visited us before? You haven't? Alright. Well, I'm happy to help you with whatever you need. Let me just set this aside. So, are you looking for anything in particular, or just browsing today? Okay, so you're looking for something a little nostalgic? I can help you there. Now, are you a collector, or just looking to try out some old video games? Okay. Well, you came at the right time. We're actually having a retro video game sale this week, and we actually just got in an old SNES system as well. So, are you familiar with that? Okay, well, it came out in 1990, so it may be a little before your time, but I'm happy to show you that if you're interested. Alright, great. So I can show you that, and I can actually show you the games it comes with. They're actually all right here. And the controllers. And would you be interested in pricing as well? Okay, so then I can look up the prices for you. I can work out a deal for you if you would be interested in purchasing maybe a few games or the entire bundle, so I can work with you on that. So why don't I just get some space cleared out so I can show you all of the games in the system, and then we will get started. So I figured I would start by showing you the system first. So let me just move some things out of the way. So this is the system right here, and it actually comes with 2 controllers. And you'll see that one is a little bit more discolored compared to the other one, but they're both in working condition. So, here is this one first, and this is the one that's a little bit more discolored, but just test the buttons, and this was already tested, so I do know it works, but I'll just show you. So here's this one, and here's the back. So you would have this one. And remind me, you said you've never played anything on the SNES? You think you did, you just don't remember? Okay. Well, I'm excited to show you it. So here's the other one, and you can see it's a little bit cleaner looking. Look at the buttons. And here's the back. So both of these would come with the system. So like I said, the SNES came out in 1990, and it was obviously very highly anticipated since the NES was so popular years prior. So let me get the system for you. And this one as well is completely tested, working perfectly, and I'm actually happy to show you any of the games on it if you would like to purchase it. We have a TV set up right there, so I can make sure you like what you see. But here it is. So it looks a little bit different than the gaming systems you would see today. But you can see it says Nintendo right up here, and then Super Nintendo Entertainment System right there, and we have the power button right here and the reset button, and then of course this is where your game goes in, and I'll show you that in a moment. And then this is how you eject the game safely. Obviously the front is where you place your controllers so they can plug in. There are not wireless controllers for this system, so you have to have a nice comfortable setup to play this. And then you can see the other areas for the cords in the back. And here's the bottom. So this one's very clean, well taken care of. it would definitely be a good one to snag if you're interested. And let me just grab a game and show you. So it just goes in just like this. Okay. So again, very different than games today, but kind of neat that you can see it stick up like this and see what you're playing. So that's how it is, and then eject. And there you go. Okay, so are you still interested in learning about the games? Very good. Well, let me just get my keyboard here so I can look up the pricing for you. And I can start showing you the games. Okay. So first, let's see, I guess I'll start with Donkey Kong. So, are you familiar with Donkey Kong? Okay. And I'll just say too, I'm going to continue just cleaning these a little bit as I talk about them. I was actually in the middle of doing it when you came in, so I want to make sure they're in top shape if you choose to purchase them. So this is Donkey Kong Country, and in this game you play as Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong. So the object of this game is to complete all the levels, obviously, but your bananas were stolen and you have to get them back. It's very fun, it's very challenging, and it's a platforming game, just like most of these games I'll show you. And each character has their own unique moveset, so it's super fun. And I'm just looking at the front, it looks like the label is perfect. Just going to dust a little bit right here. And none of these games have permanent marker on them or anything like that, so I don't know if that matters to you, but just wanted to let you know. Okay, so that's Donkey Kong. And why don't I look up the pricing of Donkey Kong Country? I think it's $10, but I want to make sure. Yes, it's $10. And I forgot to mention too, there are 40 levels in that game, so just so you know. So here's the second game, and it's actually Donkey Kong Country 2. So if you like the first one, you have plenty of action in the second one. And this is actually called Diddy's Kong Quest. So in this one, you actually play as Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong. And you can see her right next to Donkey Kong on the cover. And you actually have to rescue Donkey Kong in this game. So the label looks good. Let's see the top here. And the back. Let me just wipe this one for you. And again, this is challenging, but tons of fun. And let me look up the price for this. I think it's also $10. So, Donkey Kong Country 2. like $10. And before I move on, I did want to mention the pricing may be surprising or not surprising to you, I'm not sure. But game prices, especially for older systems, are extremely high right now. So that's why we're having a sale to help people out who want to try out these old games. So a few of them may seem a little higher than normal, but we are trying to give a fair price compared to our competitor stores. So the next game, and this is the last one I promise, but this is another Donkey Kong game, and this is the third one, and it's called Dixie Kong's Double Trouble. Here's the front label, and in this one you play as Dixie and your baby cousin Kitty Kong. See her on the front there. So this one's a little bit more complex compared to the others. You can actually explore between each area and the different levels, and there's different vehicles you can ride as well, such as I think there's a speedboat. There's also a hovercraft. You can see on the front, I believe they're in the boat. And you can actually have animals in this game be your companions. And that just means that they can kind of help you out with the different levels, which is nice. And I believe there are 48 levels in this game. And all three of these are in great condition. So let's look up the pricing. I think that one might be a few more dollars than the other two. So Donkey Kong Country 3. 15. Yeah, that one's 15. I'm just going to actually move these out of the way, if you don't mind. Alright, so next up is one of my favorites. I'm a big fan of Yoshi. Are you familiar with Yoshi? Okay. Yep. On my shirt. So this is Yoshi's Island, which is technically Super Mario World 2. So here's cover. So you play as Yoshi in this game, and your objective is actually to protect baby Mario, and you can actually see him right there. He sits on your back when you play as Yoshi, and you have to reunite him with Luigi in the game. So this game is really fun. There's a lot of unique eggs that you can use to do cool things. There's a really fun final boss fight. And you actually play against baby Bowser, if I remember correctly, which is funny. I'm just gonna wipe this. But overall, good music, good level design, and a really fun gameplay. And I do see there's a little bit of maybe dirt down here, and I can try to get this off later. After I'm done explaining the games, I do have a special solution for that, so if it bothers you. So let's look up the pricing for that. Yoshi's Island. This might be a little bit more. Yep, this is currently $20. Okay? Okay, now this one, there is a pre-owned sticker on it, but I will get it off for you as well if you choose to purchase the game. This is one that I haven't fully cleaned yet. But this game is a popular one, and it's Star Fox. So, that is Fox McCloud on the front. And you can see, I believe it's a little bit under the sticker, but you fly in your ship in this game called the R-Wing. And you fight Andros, which is the boss, the enemy. And basically the whole game is shooting your way through enemies. Back, and I see there might be some more areas I have to clean for you on the front, so I can do that. And if I take this pre-owned sticker off, the sticker underneath should be fine. So, but you play with your team in this game, and your teammates are Falco, Peppy, and Slippy. And what I always remember about this game is that the graphics seemed so 3D for its time, but not in the 3D sense that you would know for today's games. So if you're into kind of space shooting type games, this is a classic that you have to play. And let's check the pricing. Star Fox, I think it should be $10. Yep, $10. Okay. Alright, so next I think I'll show you, this is the first Mario title I'll show you, and it is Mario Paint. And I actually really like this game. So here's the front, stickers in great condition. So this game was really unique. You could do so many things. You could, let's see, paint. I know you could do 3D animation, create music. You could color in a coloring book in the game, draw, make stamps. It was just all about creativity. So very different than your typical Mario game, or than any of these games. Very unique. And it was very chill and relaxing. Kind of like an Animal Crossing game before their time, just very relaxing. Now, what I will say about this game is it did come with a mouse and a mouse pad. So I don't have the mouse pad, but I do have the mouse, which I'm going to show you in a second. But honestly, it doesn't really matter if you don't have the mouse pad, because you can use your own. And if you would really want it in the future, we might get one in stock eventually, or you could find one online. So, let me look up the price for that and then show you the mouse. Mario Paint, that is only $5, so not expensive at all. Okay, so here is the mouse, and it's really just like a regular mouse. It's a little bit discolored, obviously due to age, but this is tested. It does work. So here is the front of it. Like I said, just looks like a normal mouse. And here's the bottom. It's a little bit shaky, this ball on the bottom, so I can try to fix it for you if you want. And here's the buttons. So, like I said, this is perfect for Mario Paint if you would be interested. So, I know we still have a few games to go, but what are your thoughts so far? Okay. Well, I don't want to force it on you, but it would be a really cool collection to have. So, let me put this aside. So, what will I show you next? I guess I'll show you this one next. Next is Super Mario World. And what's special about this game is it's the best-selling NES game of all time. And there's a good reason for it. It's just so good. So it's your typical 2D Mario platformer. There are 96 levels, so you'll be kept busy with this game. And obviously, like your typical Mario game, a lot of obstacles, a lot of enemies you'll face. You can dash, you can jump, dodge. And the same power-ups from previous games before this one. Such as the Super Mushroom, Fire Flower, if you're familiar. But you also have the Cape Feather in this game, and you can see that right on the front. That's the Cape Feather. So it just gives you the ability to fly. And I think you can also like glide in the air and sail. This one's a little bit dusty, so I'm gonna wipe it off for you. So this one is obviously a neat one to have in a collection since it's just so popular. And surprisingly, I do not think this one is too expensive. I'm gonna double check for you. Okay. So, Super Mario World, $10. So, yep, not too expensive at all. Alright. Why don't we do sticking to the Super Mario? Why don't we go to Super Mario All-Stars? Here it is. There's Mario and friends on the front. So this is basically the NES version of Mario 1, 2, and 3 and the Lost Levels combined. So kind of like remakes of all of them with better graphics, which is always nice. I believe there were bug fixes, upgraded music, things like that. So what would be nice about having this, even if you have the older games, is that they're all in here combined. And if you look closely, actually I never noticed this, you can see that it actually says in the artwork Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario 2, Super Mario 3, and Lost levels right on the front. So let me wipe this for you. And I'm sorry, I'm assuming that you know a lot about Mario, but I never really asked you. Do you play any Mario games currently? You did play Mario Odyssey? Okay, so then you're familiar with the main characters and the type of style that a Mario game has. Yeah, that was a great game. Okay, let's look up the price for that. I think that might also be the same, so Super Mario All-Stars, $10. Okay, let's see. Alright, so I'll switch it up this time and show you another one of my favorites. So this is Kirby Superstar. 8 games in one. So there are so many levels in this game, and typical to Kirby games, you have to avoid enemies, there's obstacles, and what's funny is Kirby can actually inhale his enemies in this game, which allows him to have their abilities, which is cool. And so there's different game modes, if I remember correctly, and you can race in some, and then others have more of a specific story. Overall, it's a super fun game. Just clean it for you. There looks to be a little bit of scuffing on the word star there. I don't know if you can see that, but otherwise this looks like it's in great condition. So I'm just going to continue wiping this, and I will warn you, I think this one is more than $10, so let's check. Kirby Superstar, 8 games in one. Okay, yes, this is $40. So $40 game, and hopefully that won't turn you off because it is a fun one. So just one more to go. And I saved one of the best for last. So this is Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars. And on the front you'll see Mario, Peach, and Bowser. So this game was super cool when it came out. And I would say that this game really started with the unique humor that you would now see in games like Paper Mario, The Thousand-Year Door, or even the newer Paper Mario for Switch, Origami King. So this is kind of where that humor originated, if you like that. Really fun story, really fun gameplay, and it had the RPG aspect, which is unique for its time. And if you don't know what that means, it just means it's turn-based, so it's kind of like you fight and then the enemy fights, you fight, the enemy fights during the battles. So you start off as playing just as Mario, but it does grow to 5 characters as you go on. Each of them has their own abilities, so you can help each other out. It really is one of my favorites, for sure. And this label is perfect. No scratches, no dents, nothing like that. So I will warn you, I know this is more pricey than the others. So let me confirm. Super Mario RPG Legend of the 7 Stars. So, yeah. Right now it is $60. A little bit more pricey, but I can maybe cut you a little bit of a deal if you're interested. So that's all the games we have for this bundle. What are your overall thoughts? Very nice. I would be excited too. There's so many fun games in this collection, so I think you would really like it. And I should mention we do have other games as well in the store. This is just a mini collection that was donated, so you can take a look at those games. They're actually on the wall over there. If you'd like to do that now, you can. I'm actually going to just kind of see what the pricing would be for this total bundle if you're interested. You are perfect. So let me just take a few moments to figure that out, and then I will come get you so we can potentially check out. Oh, you're back? Did you find anything? Very nice. So which one did you find? Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember playing this one. So, Super Star Wars. Are you a Star Wars fan? You are? Yeah. Yeah, this is a fun one to have then. Let me actually dust it off for you. I see it's a little bit dirty. So, just get that for you. And I did come up with a final price. And you would like to purchase this as well, I'm assuming? Okay. So I did tell you all of the individual prices for the games. I didn't mention the price for the system because, like I said, I'd like to kind of do a package deal for you. Would you be interested in that, or would you like to purchase maybe just a few games? The whole package. Okay. So, with all of the games plus the system, okay, so the total price, 10 games, well, now 11 games with Super Star Wars and the system and the 2 controllers would be $275. So how do you feel about that price? And I will say that that is less than our competitors would have you purchase it for, so it is a good deal. You'd like to buy it? Very good. Well, I'm so excited for you. You're definitely making the right choice, and I'm not just saying that. I think you'll have hours of fun ahead, so like I said, that'll be $275. And would you like to pay with cash or credit card? Credit card? Alright. You can actually just scan it right there. Very good. I will process it for you. And can I take down an email address? Very good. And would you like to sign up for monthly emails from us? That would include promotions that we have going on, such as the retro game sale that we had today. Okay, wonderful. Sign you up. Okay, so your receipt was just emailed to you, and I'm going to have my colleague pack everything up nicely for you so that you don't have to worry about it getting messed up at all on your drive home. So it was so great doing business with you. I hope you enjoyed my overview of all of these games, and I hope you enjoy your SNES. If you have any questions or problems with any of the games, the controllers, or the console itself, please give us a call. All of our contact information is in the email that you received with your receipt. The return policy is that we will accept anything within 30 days of the purchase. So, like I said, everything's tested and is working, but you can just check everything as well when you get home. Okay? Alright. Well, I hope to see you in the store again soon, and enjoy your SNES.